I'm a U.S. citizen, so of course I have been closely watching how America and my fellow citizens have been handling and adapting to the coronavirus outbreak, a pandemic that has struck many countries all over the world. And right as I speak, as of April 14th, you have over 20,000 Americans who have died from the COVID-19 outbreak. Well over 200,000 Americans infected. It's very shocking. I was really shocked to hear the news, because when you look at what happened in China, they had at its worst about a month ago, 2 months ago. Even at its peak, they reached about 80,000, 90,000 confirmed cases, and about 3,000 or 4,000 people had died. In China, this is where they got hit the hardest first. So you would think that, oh, okay, now you have other countries who are who will prepare to respond to the coronavirus, because they have very good healthcare systems like you have in Europe, as well as in the United States. It's hard to imagine that they would have delayed any responses. It would have been unbelievable if anything bad would happen, as I thought, because I just assumed that America would be well prepared to handle any crisis that ensues, as well as the Europeans. Okay, the last great crisis, when you really think about it, in Europe and America had been with World Wars I and World War II. However, this time, the Americans had to face an invisible enemy, not a visible one. And it seems that, well, they weren't as prepared as they should have been. A major problem that occurred was that many Americans thought, oh, it came from China, so China's at fault. They're the bad guys. They're the ones who are doing the awful things, and they caused it to spread. That is the American attitude. And to be honest, I was very shocked. I mean, I've lived in China. I had experienced what I had seen how China had overcome the virus and done a remarkable job. China deserved praise, not blame, for what has happened. I mean, the amazing stuff about the Wuhan lockdown, the nationwide quarantines, and how many hospitals in China were although they had many people coming through their hospitals, the doctors and the nurses were acting in a heroic manner to take care of the patients, and only 3,000 or 4,000 people had died. But in America, when they had 3-4 months to prepare, already there's over 20,000 deaths, and it's likely to believe that a week or two later it will peak. It will get worse. It is really sad to see that. It's heartbreaking, and I hope, instead of the Americans feeling anger at the Chinese or anger at others, that they overcome their anger and they fight with solidarity, the solidarity of a union. It doesn't matter if you're poor American or rich American, you are black or white or Asian, or whatever you may be. If you're an American, this is the time for solidarity, for unity. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. That virus does not discriminate. Americans really need to get it into gear. Take this virus seriously. This is not the time to play jokes or look at it humorously. You need to prepare. Get the face mask. Anytime you go outside, wear a face mask. If you hear about people getting sick, try to help them as soon as you can. Maybe if you have, tell them, recommend they go to the hospital, or do whatever it takes. But this is not the time to go point fingers at each other and say, oh, China did this, oh, Europe did this. No, it's, you know, the virus is a virus. It's deadly, it's contagious, and what America needs to do is really fight that invisible enemy. And when they do fight that invisible enemy, and I believe with China's help, they can overcome. Although America was hardest hit, it's America that can fix it. I really believe that as an American. But just step up your game, get ready, and I know you can. Be strong, America.